Wednesday, May 17th, 1995.
Year before
An
I
Army
was born.
veteran, down on his luck and at odds with the world, entered a San Diego National Guard armory, stealing a 100,000-pound patent tank, taking
How did he get into that? Shouldn't they be guarded or some shit?
the city of San Diego hostage during a televised rampage.
That's fucking awesome.
And after desperately running out of options, authorities requested the assistance from the United States Marine Corps, requesting a Cobra attack.
Shouldn't that have been the first fucking option? Like, he got a tank from the military. Shouldn't the military engineers be taking it out or some shit? Or at least disabling it? Why wasn't that the first option? You thought... Stupid fuck.
Helicopter to respond and take out the tank. But not before a Marine turned police officer seized the moment, bringing a 9mm to a tank fight. For 23 hellish minutes, San Diego was on lockdown.
It's like the Killdozer. Probably not for the same purposes of why they did it, but...
1995, San Diego was arguably in its prime. The economy was booming, the Padres were decent, and while the city was considered family-friendly, crime in San Diego peaked in the mid-90s. And with the...
I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but ain't San Diego where the poop map is now? Oh, that's fucking terrible. The mighty have fallen. Oh, America, what have we done to thee?
Population of 2.6 million, the San Diego Police Department were severely overwhelmed. From gang violence to homicides to petty shit like, oh my god, it's too sunny, not sunny enough. But with that volume of crime came an increased level of training and experience. The San Diego Police Department was a highly capable force, ready for anything except a tank. However, San Diego was and still is a military town, and a lot of the members of the San Diego Police Department were military veterans who decided to settle down in the area after serving, many of whom understood armored warfare. But few understood it like Sean Nelson.
That was probably a good time to be alive. Before 2008 and everything went to shit.
A Utah man who would later relocate with his family to San Diego. And after high school, Nelson enlisted in the U.S. Army, where he attended armor school at Fort Knox, Kentucky, where he learned and mastered his craft as an armor crewman in 1978. And after completing his training, Nelson was deployed to West Germany with his tank battalion. He would get out of the Army only 2 years later. But while serving, Nelson received multiple disciplinary actions, but nonetheless was honorably discharged in 1980. He returned to San Diego in pursuit of the American dream. He started his own plumbing business, married a woman with an equally successful career, and together they had it made. Nelson was...
Alright, my money is on she cheated on him. Took half of everything, left him with fucking nothing. Sold the house and took the dog.
Quickly building a respectable reputation as a friendly plumber, and was famously known within his community as the plumber with the work van bearing personalized plates, can fix. He took thousands of jobs, always quoted fair prices, and business was good. But the seemingly happy family man would soon descend through a chapter of misfortune in 1988, beginning with the passing of his mother. Overwhelmed with grief, Nelson became extremely erratic. So erratic.
Yeah, that can throw anybody out the window. The passing of a parent and shit. Like, that can be terribly catastrophic. I've only dealt with passing of grandparents, and that was deeply saddening. I couldn't imagine the pain that it is going to feel when your parents pass away and shit. But I don't want to think about that. Let's just keep on going.
That his wife hopelessly filed for divorce in 1990, causing Nelson to become even more erratic. And to make matters worse,
she didn't cheat. She just left his ass, hopefully.
Shortly after his divorce, a motorcycle accident would leave Nelson with serious spinal injuries and a lifetime of chronic pain. And this erratic behavior was only worsened. While being treated at Sharp Memorial Hospital, Nelson tried to walk out and was physically stopped by hospital security. And after being discharged, Nelson would file a lawsuit for $1.6 million in damages, citing negligence, assault, battery, and false imprisonment.
Bro, you just got a fucking motorcycle accident with spinal injury. I think there's a legal case to say that you're not in your right fucking mind. But I can understand the security forcing you while you're like, I don't know. I'm not a fucking lawyer, and I don't know specifics about hospital and shit like that.
At the hands of Sharp Memorial Hospital. A Superior Court judge would later dismiss the case, and the hospital countersued Nelson for $6,000, dealing Nelson
That's
yet another
unnecessary.
blow to his already declining well-being. And to make matters even worse, his father's death would occur only 2 years later in 1992, causing his life to spiral out of control, and he turned heavily to drugs and alcohol. The feelings of hopelessness, desperation, coupled with a vague opinion that...
I'm sorry for keep pausing it, but my advice for him at that point after his father's death, grieve a little bit, but you should like take a step back, breathe, and rethink of what you're going to do. But I think he did that.
Pain and misfortune predominate the world. The blue-collar optimist became a pessimist.
Hey, you're getting your ass beat down by life, bro.
By
you can't stay positive all the time.
Nelson would become a shell of his former self after his tools were stolen out of his work van. The tools required to perform
Crackhead
his
strikes
plumbing
again.
duties. And with no money and no tools to fulfill his jobs, Nelson was shit out of luck. His utilities were shut off, his mailbox began to overflow with collection letters, and his live-in girlfriend at the time moved out and left him. He was now facing reality as the bank began proceedings to foreclose his
Like I said, you should have worked on yourself more than get into a relationship, bro. You're still broken.
home. Addiction began taking over, and Nelson began seriously using hard drugs. During odd evening hours, Nelson would dig in his backyard, reportedly digging a hole as deep as 20 feet, and telling his friends that he was mere inches from finding gold and possibly oil in his backyard. He began obsessing over his so-called mine shaft, with delusions that finding these...
So he lost his fucking mind, drugged out, digging in the back looking for unknown gold and riches. That's fucking wild, bro. I hope I'd never get that crazy.
Natural resources would be his financial salvation. Nelson took this mine shaft so seriously, he filed a notice informing the county of San Diego of his plans to mine his backyard. When city engineers rejected Nelson's plans, Nelson became manic, and through his suffering and his drug abuse, Nelson developed a nihilistic worldview, a dangerous combination for a man without a family. As during this time, while showing a neighbor his mine shaft, Nelson stated that Oklahoma was good stuff, in reference to the Oklahoma City bombing perpetrated by Timothy McVeigh, which occurred the month prior on April 19th.
And there's a whole conspiracy theory around that shit that's wild. Pretty much any great event, there's a conspiracy theory on it, and I love conspiracy theories. They're so stupid, and some of them are wild, and some of them have turned out to be true. Alex Jones.
That year, an attack which left 168 people dead.
A massive car bomb exploded outside of a large federal building in downtown Oklahoma.
The neighbor was unsure if Nelson was condoning the attack or commenting on the drama the event caused over the last several weeks. But it's obvious Nelson took some form of inspiration, whether it be in the shape of mass destruction or self-destruction. He devised his plan only 1 month following.
I think he wanted the world to feel the pain that he's feeling and the suffering he's feeling. But bro, stop doing fucking drugs. You ain't gonna have a straight mind when you're doing the hard shit. You're just gonna be sad and depressed all the damn time. Especially when you're doing that crazy shit, dude. You need to be detoxed.
The Oklahoma bombing. He picked his location, a National Guard armory in the area of Kearny Mesa, in a time of 5 p.m., the height of rush hour traffic. And on Wednesday, May 17th, in the seemingly utopian city of San Diego, Nelson drove his van to the National Guard armory.
It's a
Although the
dystopia
gates of the
now,
vehicle
boys.
yard was typically locked after 5 p.m., employees at the armory were working late and left the gate wide open. Nelson drove straight in.
Opportunity fits perfect for this motherfucker. This is why you follow strict protocol, bro. Like, I don't know, you could call me a douche or a fucking stickler or whatever the fuck you want, but when I found out through HR that if you follow the proper PPE, you follow the proper protocols, and you get fucked up, and you don't got no drugs in your system, you're getting paid, dog. You're getting that fucking money. So follow the proper protocols, so when shit hits the fan, it's the motherfucker that's above you that gets it. Because you follow proper protocols. Get that fucking money when shit hits the fan.
Guardsmen stared at the van bearing the license plate, "Can't fix," and only assumed Nelson was supposed to be there, as he looked the part of some sort of repairman, until he climbed down the hatch of a 57-ton.
Sorry to keep pausing it, but that's true. I've heard it multiple times. Like, if you wear a high-vis vest or carrying a ladder or carrying a package, you can pretty much go through any fucking where. You'd be let in any goddamn where. Like, shit, man. When I was delivering for Amazon, I had the Amazon vest, the box, and everything. I've been let in areas I'm pretty sure I was restricted, and I should not have been fucking allowed in there. Like, government clearance type shit down in, like, DC, and like, fuck, bro. Different stories. I ain't gonna talk back shit that can incriminate, allegedly.
M60 patent tank, and fired it up.
Just be happy the shit didn't have ammo in it. They probably had the turret locked. GTA IRL, bro. I think this is Beach Boys.
Then it wasn't long I fell in love and hoped you'd feel.
He's carrying an arm.
So you told me come on over.
I love the edit.
And we'll sing a sweet refrain.
The music adds a good touch to it.
And the world was turning slower.
Can we get some dash cam video?
Explain.
With a top speed of 30 miles per hour, Nelson's 100,000-pound tank plowed through dozens of unattended parked cars, even coming within feet of knocking down one resident's house.
Bro. Knowing my fucking luck, I'd be sitting in that bitch smoking when he comes rolling through that, rolling through there, dude. Like, fuck, man. Good thing that hasn't happened with me around, because that would be a prime smoke sesh, especially when the parents are home chilling in the house. Just go out to an RV and light one up, and next thing you know, a goddamn tank goes blowing through the fucking thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I went somewhere stupid.
Parked cars, even coming within feet of knocking down one resident's house.
And I always will do right by you.
He ran up over a cyclone fence about a foot from a house.
I'm never gonna let you down.
I love this video. I'm glad I watched it.
It became evident to police through his technical maneuvering that whoever was operating the tank was a trained professional. Given the threat posed and the inability to stop the threat, San Diego police notified the Marine Corps. Officials at Camp Pendleton suggested a Cobra attack helicopter, and the bird was prepped for takeoff.
That's a little too extreme. I figured just get one of them boat dozers and just flip it over.
Nelson made his way northbound on Convoy Street before heading west onto Balboa Avenue. He entered the 805 freeway, heading southbound toward the 163.
So they're just going to shoot it?
While on the 805, he attempted to knock down.
Like, that's fucking Merca right there. Just unload on it and just shoot it. But wanted to be like, they don't give a fuck about casualties anymore.
Pedestrian bridge, and after multiple failed attempts, he eventually gave up. He made his way onto the 163 near the exit of Genesee when he made a sudden abrupt turn toward oncoming southbound traffic, putting the lives of hundreds of innocent civilians in jeopardy. But
Shut
while
her
crushing
down.
through the center median, he disabled the left track and hung the body of the tank atop the rubble. Realizing how close he was to crushing oncoming vehicles, officers surrounded him and began scrambling with
So he
ideas
fucked up.
on how to stop him.
Should have stayed in his lane. This is what happens when you don't follow the rules.
San Diego police officer Paul Paxton, a gunnery sergeant at the time with the Marine Corps Reserve, leaped onto the hull of the tank and opened
Marines,
the
the
hatch.
crazy
He called down to
motherfuckers of the
Nelson
army.
and ordered him
Well, of
to
the
surrender.
military.
Nelson looked up, ignored Officer Paxton, and continued lurching the tank back and forth.
Correction
in an
myself
attempt
before I
to
get
free
fucked up in the
Three other
comments.
officers rushed in to assist Officer Paxton, including this guy right here, who looks like Chunk.
He still don't got a plumber's crack, though, bro.
But Nelson
He still don't got a plumber's crack.
Continued
Respect
throttling
it.
the tank. Police were left with no other options, as the risk of him freeing the tank and mowing down oncoming traffic was far too dangerous. Officer Paxton
slipped the track, so
fired
I
his
doubt he'd be
weapon
able to go
one time,
anymore.
striking Nelson in the shoulder. Nelson collapsed, and officers rushed in to secure the scene.
Hey, at least he survived, bro.
Nelson was ironically transported to Sharp Memorial Hospital, where he later succumbed to his wound. And on May 18th,
He
at
did not
approximately
survive.
2:30
I spoke too
the
soon.
tank was removed.
Like my entire life, I spoke too soon. And this motherfucker's fucking up. That's not OSHA. He's standing underneath a fucking hanging live load, dog. Get the fuck out there. You never do that. You gonna get crushed, you stupid bitch.
From the freeway. Miraculously, nobody else was
That's why you got guide ropes, Bob. You don't go up there. You dumb.
hurt during this incident. The story shocked not only San Diego residents, but the nation alike. And debate soon followed as to whether or not police were justified in using lethal force.
Fuck yeah, he is. He's in a fucking tank. They should have did a headshot. He shot him in the shoulder. The fuck you talking about?
The question is there something else that
One of the officers who ended up jumping on top of that tank to stop the chase. This cop operated a tank during...
Yeah, what they could have done differently is shoot it with a fucking bazooka. Like hell, they're about to hit it with a fucking Apache attack helicopter. The fuck?
Desert Storm.
I know people look at it as a vehicle or a tank. That was a moving weapon. That was the biggest weapon on the loose in the city of San Diego yesterday.
Why wouldn't they mace him? Why wouldn't they do anything? They shot the guy and left.
Of course, it's a stupid white bitch. You're crying about the criminal destroying, wreaking havoc. Fuck you, you stupid ass white bitch.
With no answer.
There's one thing that goes unmentioned with this story. Given the facts and circumstances,
Stupid-ass
his
liberal white
discontent for
bitch.
Sharp Memorial Hospital and his history there as a patient, the fact that his tank stalled near Genesee on the 163 may
Fucking people are always sad for the criminal instead of the victims, bro. Fuck you.
not be a coincidence. From my experience working on an ambulance in San Diego a long time ago, Genesee is the 163 exit to Sharp Memorial. The hospital property is less than a few hundred yards from the exit, and his tank stalled fronting the hospital. It's not impossible to imagine that's where Sean Nelson was headed.
More than likely. Slam that bitch right through the front doors and fuck everything up. Knowing what kind of the equipment hospitals have, I say after like 30 or 45 seconds of him flying through the building, he probably make an explosion with the oxygen, electricity, and all that shit mixing around. Yeah, it's good that he got pieced out on the bridge. I mean, on the median.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more of these mini documentaries in the works.
Yeah, that
and
was
you don't
good.
want to miss them. So make
That was
sure
a good
you're
channel.
subscribed. And also, if you might notice, I miss a Thursday here and there uploading a new video. It's only because I'm making a real documentary. I'm making two, actually. I have a lot of stuff going on, and there's a ton of exciting things happening behind the scenes. But I promise I'm going to upload as consistently as possible. So thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.